Konabos will be celebrating its 5th anniversary this month. How did the company come about?
So Konabos first started from vague discussions that a bunch of us were having on Slack and one of the community members had come up with a vague idea of, why don't a bunch of us get together?
There's a whole bunch of MVPs trying to form a co-op company, but that didn't end up going the way we all thought it would.
And then in 2017, I moved over to Canada. And during this time, I'd been speaking with Akshay and a few others fairly regularly, but Akshay was one of the guys that I spoke almost daily, just about nothing and about work and other things as well. And 2017 was when I first moved over to Canada. So I initially set up the company, hoping that maybe something more comes about now that I'd moved over to North America. And then in October or November of 2017, it was Cycle Symposium. It was the first time again that we'd seen each other in a while. I was out to dinner with Akshay and somebody else and talking with Akshay saying, hey, remember that thing we were talking about last year? Well, I'm in North America now. Do you want to think about doing something together and starting something up?
Kamruz and I were both on the same wavelength at that moment in time. He went ahead and registered a company in Canada. I was like, hey, I registered on my end. What do you want to do? So I'm like, sure, I'll register one on my end. So we registered one in the US, and that's how we both started with the two of us building on projects.
We understood each other. We understood that we needed expertise, good at the thing that was being delivered. So we had some shared value. As just community members, we got on really well together. So we figured, let's give it a try, right? It's not going to be that hard. But yeah, we did move very quickly in getting this done. So actually, I went back that week from after symposium, just like, right, okay, I'm in. Let's set up a company. And he just went and effectively set up a Konabos in the US. We started to work together and gave us some good momentum. But even things like getting the logo down. We put out some design briefs and some design specs that we had in mind. We gave out some ideas or things that we thought would work on. I think it was 99 designs we got the logo done on. And a bunch of people submitted their ideas. We narrowed it down. We worked with them to end up with the final logo that you guys will see. But that again was that was done pretty quickly. We moved on that pretty quickly. They kind of established things like brand colors and the brand look, and kind of felt that it worked well for us because it's a bit of a fun kind of logo as well, right?
On that point, do you remember at that time what your thoughts of what it could be?
So what we would have been really, really happy with is a company with probably like 10 people, predominantly developers, just building on-site projects is what we thought at that moment in time is what our next goal, I guess.
Dennis, when you hear that, and then you came into the picture a couple of years in as a partner, and you see what it's become, what do you think about that start to where we are now?
I think it's very cool in that I never actually heard him use the words before starting off like a co-op of MVPs or something, because over the years, we've kind of just started to, in a way, morph towards some of that model. When I came in, I was the third company that was added to the other two. So we started working together and just building stuff out. Now we're not in this co-op framework, but right now we're noodling things like the Konabos Alliance and all kinds of stuff and ways that we can work together, do things for ourselves in the community, but not by ourselves. And so it's kind of interesting to hear it start out that way. And I think it's also really cool and interesting to hear that the goals were around 10 people, because we've blown through that 5 times over by now. And there's not really an end in sight or a limit for us at this point. So I'm glad to know that we've exceeded the expectations. I think we've exceeded all of our expectations. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have very ambitious expectations. So I think it's nice to know that we've exceeded the expectations of the founders. I'm so glad about that, and exciting things ahead.
And Dennis, how about you? When you came in, I think you were the third person, right? Or maybe 4 people at the time, and now we're 10 times that. I think the people probably resonate with you. And what is it like seeing the roster and your connection with a lot of the people that came on and seeing them fit into this group?
Yeah, the people lesson is definitely one of the most profound ones. I had a sense for when I joined Akshay and Kamruz, and at that time Hedipo as well. that just picking the right partners and the right people would be a key to success. Of course, I've been through the process before, but I've just been so excited about the type of people that we've been able to attract here at Konabos. Some of the best-hearted, really super smart folks. I used to fancy myself a developer and solution architect in my previous iteration, and right now I don't even dare to touch code around people like Mike Edwards and Cam and Akshay and everybody else, because they're just so talented. So definitely the quality of the people, the passion of the MVPs, many MVPs that we've been able to attract, and the spirit of exploration in terms of checking out new technologies and always pushing for what's best for the client situation has been a real standout. I'll also highlight that my previous business had a bricks and mortar office, and we were just like everybody was in Toronto and local. And I met Akshay just in the flesh, and we've been working together for a couple of years. And in the flesh, I met him for the first time just about a month before I moved here to Barbados. And our company is fully remote, and we're doing something that is, to me, unprecedented. I think that I'm so excited about the ability that we have right now to do software teams in a different way, in a way that's really suited for this new remote reality, this new cloud reality, this new composable reality. The way that our team is structured is just made for this time in software development. And I think we're starting to reinvent that. So that sticks out for me too, that we have an opportunity here at Konabos. I think we are in the midst of reinventing how you should build a software team.
Hedipo, so you were the first Konabos employee. What were you thinking when you first joined this group?
Yes, what were you thinking, Hedipo?
It was kind of weird, because I just started work with Akshay and Kamruz even before Konabos. And when I started to work with these guys as a freelance doing some stuff, I just love it, the way that they work, the way that they talk with each other, the way that they request things, how flexible they are, how we can communicate with them, make the questions without being afraid of things like a dumb question or something. And since I started there, I just put on my mind, hey, this is what I want. I want to work with these guys, so I will do my best to work with these guys. If they want a company or anything, I want to be there. I didn't even know about Konabos at that moment. And then when they decided to start the company, I was, I'm here if you need. And then we just started to work, and we are here until now. So I just love it, these guys, the way that we work, the way that they treat people here, how open they are to hear everyone, what people think, what they think that we can do better, what we can always do to improve ourselves or the team. For me, the communication is the key for everything, so I just love it, guys. That's the thing.
How has it been, being the first employee and then, watching the company just explode and go through so many different transformations? How has that been, knowing that you were there as the first person, the first employee, and watching all the company just grow like this?
Well, I don't know if you had the feeling of realizing a dream. It was kind of that when they sent the contract the first time, and I was, what? This is serious? I'm here. This is what I will do. It's exactly what I was expecting. And then when we started, we were small, right? So, and I was afraid, right? We are small. I don't know where we will go. I don't know what is the plans here. But I'm here, so let's go. And then like the last year, and since the beginning, I think, the things just start to literally explode, and people join from everywhere. And I was, what a crazy thing, It's so cool that you can work with people around the world without even know them personally, but they are like friends, You can communicate with everyone as friends. It's unexpected, I think. So because it's completely different of the other experiences that I had working remotely. Here we are just a family, and we are growing so fast that every day you can think, hey, what will be the next step? who will join next month, you know? The team's just growing project. And then that's my thinking at this moment. What will happen next? Who will join to us on this big family that's growing so fast? That's my thing these days.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Dennis first.
I think we're doing a great job of reinventing how we do things in terms of the software team, this virtual team. We're doing a really great job of running this team of about 50. I would like to see us team up with a whole bunch of other people and do another team of 50 and another team of 50 and another team of 50 till we have an army of about 1,000 people.
I envision we growing like really a lot, and not only where we are now, but around the world.
Yeah, 5 years will be, I don't know, 1,000 people, but a good 100 or so people being very process oriented and executing effectively, and have a loyal set of customers and team members.
I do think we've been growing in a good way with our customers. So one thing that I think nobody in the company wants to do is just work for the sake of working. We have been trying to work with every single customer as if we are a partner. We are truly their partner. We work with them as one team, fully integrated with their team. So I think that's where our future is. We will be working more and more predominantly in the composable space and the headless space, and within this DXP marketplace. But always with in mind that these customers are our partners, and every single one of these projects are like us doing our own internal project. It's not just somebody else's project that we're doing just to bill some hours and build some money again. So that is where our strength is. I think that's where our growth will come from, within the composable space, and working with everybody as true partners.
Happy
anniversary,
Konabos!
There you go.
The worst
That was
one.
a good one.